What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I'm bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. And today I wanted to discuss what's next for Fallout 4. Since we've heard that DLC and a new survival mode is coming right around the corner, it's really exciting. You know, it could be next week, it could be in a few weeks, we really don't know. But it's nice to know that Bethesda is already committed to improving on things that the general Fallout community agrees need to be improved, like survival mode. You know, with hardcore, it's like, you know, this is not more difficult enough. You know, the general game is not difficult enough unless you're able to mod it or something on PC. Plenty of people play on console. I used to be a console player only for Fallout. And so it's nice to see that they're already focusing on some of those issues. And I'm sure most of you watching this video love Fallout like I do. I love the game. I wouldn't play it as much as I do if I didn't. But there are many ways that this game can still improve over the game's life cycle, which is pretty much over the next year. So I'm going to share my top 5 ways that Fallout can improve through its DLC and patch updates over the next year or so. But keep in mind, these are my top things that I've noticed and I really want to, improve or change. And please share what you would like to see change in the comments below. I want to have an active conversation in the comments on this video. These are really in no particular order, but number one, I would say above all, and what really accounts for the majority of my issues with the game, are the bugs, the glitches. There are so many bugs and glitches in the game. They're still there. They have released patches, fixing some of these issues, but it's a widely known thing that Bethesda releases buggy games. Their games are generally buggy, they have plenty of issues, and they have to iron them out over the game's life cycle. Every single patch video update I've done, I still get hundreds of comments about specific issues that people are having that haven't been fixed yet. And while Bethesda can't, go after every single issue, I think they can make a concerted effort in, certain updates that are coming out in the future and also new content that they make to make sure that those things are polished. They need to squash all of those bugs and really focus, make it one of their main objectives, primary things, to make this a more enjoyable experience from that standpoint. If you encounter a bug that ruins your entire save game, or you're invulnerable like I was for an entire month after the game came out, that just kind of ruined the experience for me personally, because I wasn't able to die. Nothing really mattered. My combat didn't matter. Nothing mattered. I was invincible because of a bug. And so I really think they need to address those issues. That needs to be a primary thing that they're focusing on. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I personally would like to see the game a lot more enjoyable and playable from a vanilla standpoint with the core game that I spent $60 on before they start introducing other content. And so I really want that to be a focus for them over the next year. Next, I'd like to see them roll out some quality of life improvements, things that make the game more enjoyable and less frustrating from a design standpoint. So these are light little features that I think should be included in patch updates, not DLC. You shouldn't have to pay to make the game, more enjoyable, better quality of life overall. So I've thought of a few different things that they could do. First off, have some kind of button, maybe a whistle, some kind of item that you can use to spawn your companion, to summon them to you. There are too many issues with bugs where companions get stuck somewhere. Dog meat might be found in any one of the dog houses throughout Sanctuary. It's annoying having to run around and look for dog meat. It's annoying not knowing where Nick Valentine went off to. It's just annoying. And so if they had one button to summon your companion or to call your companion, like with a whistle sounds like a really stupid, silly idea, but it's an idea, to some kind of way to summon your active companion, that would be fantastic. On the same note, there should be a way to track where your companions are, all of them. So maybe some kind of toggle button on the map screen where you can show where all of the companions are on the map that you have currently recruited, because if you haven't recruited them, you can find where they are. I've got plenty of companion guides, you've got the internet as a resource, whatever. But if you've recruited them, since they always get lost, a lot of them get lost, at least in my experience, some way to track them on the map would be nice. And also some way to track companion affinity. It is beyond annoying, I've got to tell you guys, in my companion guides to have to explain that there's an invisible bar out of 1,000. Why is there not a meter that we can actually track in the game? Why can I not see my companion's affinity? Because it is something that it would be very helpful to measure. You just think it would be in there and it's not. It'd be nice to have a meter for that somewhere in our Pip-Boy so that we can actually track it, because it can go up and down. I just think it's something that would be very, very useful. Another quality of life change would be to include the full dialogue text option. So some option in the settings of the game. This is not a mod. This is actually built into the game where you can check a box and the interface for dialogue is changed to how it used to be. I just think this is a quality of life thing. Some people really want to see what their their player character is going to say, what the sole survivor is actually going to say before they say it. It's not as egregious as in LA Noire where you would doubt, something and then Cole Phelps would freak out. It wasn't like that, like people were expecting it to be. However, there are some situations in which you say something, you choose an option, and then your character says something you didn't intend them to say. That's just annoying. So I would hope that they incorporate that over the next year at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But I don't think, just download the mod. That's not a solution. That's really not a solution from their standpoint. I really do think they should include at least an option to turn this on and turn it off in the game. One last QOL improvement, I would like for those random encounters with like level 4 merchants to be a lot less random. It must be frustrating to be a high level character and never come across like Smiling Larry, I believe is one of them, or whatever other level 4 merchant that you're trying to find, or any other random encounter in the game. These random encounters, not only are they random, but it seems like they're glitched or buggy. You just can't find some of these people, and it depends on your game. Some people can find them, some people can't. That's a clear problem. There's an issue there. So I'd like them either to be less random or, something in the game hints us as to where we can find these characters more often. It's just the system needs to be fixed. The way it's working right now is not working properly. That just needs to be fixed in whichever way makes sense. Something else that I think would make Fallout a better game is more concrete side quests. Pretty much making more side quests in favor of radiant and random missions. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a big fan of the BOS Radiant missions. I mean, they're pretty much just go to this place, retrieve this, and bring it back. They're fetch quests. And same thing goes with, oh God, Preston and the Minutemen. Everyone, clearly the community has voiced their opinion on Preston, how annoying he is. It's because of this Radiant quest system. And I think if they were to kind of not really scrap that idea, either make more meaningful Radiant quests that are more varied and interesting, or just scrap that in favor of more concrete side quests, more interesting side quests within the world. And I just had an idea. Actually, I shared it with one of my friends. Give all of the companions their own side quests. Only 4 out of 13 companions actually have their own side quests outside of the quests that you get, that you have to do in order to obtain that companion. So, like, there's Kate, Curie, McCready, and one more. I forgot about the last one. I think it's Dance. Those are the only ones that have side quests. We need more side quests for our companions. They're interesting characters. They've made these interesting characters. Now tell us more about those characters. That's what I'd like to see as well. If the next DLC, the upcoming DLC in the next week or so, doesn't bring us to a new location, at least make the vanilla world more interesting. Give us more things to do. There are plenty of locations in the game that don't have a lot of meaning. Maybe there's some kind of story that Bethesda's trying to tell, but I'd like an actual quest in that location. So I don't know, do whatever you can to make the vanilla world more interesting. There's plenty to explore in the Commonwealth. I'm still finding new and interesting stuff. That's fantastic, the fact that the game's been out for this long, but give us some more meaningful things to do at those locations. I would really, really enjoy the game a lot more if they did that. Another improvement I'd like to see is better settlements. Give them a real purpose. I remember when the game came, actually before the game came out, asking the question, what's the end game purpose of investing in your settlements? Why do I want to go and get local leader? Why do I want to spend those extra points to get that? Is it just the feeling of managing a group of people that should be satisfying, kind of like Fallout Shelter, for example? Why do I want to increase settler happiness? And it's to get more settlers, obviously, but why do I want more settlers? What is the real reason? And I feel like, at least for the trading compendium or something like that, the highest ranked trading store, you don't get a high return on that. You don't even make a legitimate enough income. I've already made a video on my channel about how to make a ton of caps, and it's by making water purifiers. And I don't think they've patched that. That method still works. That's kind of not a cheesy method, but it's an easy, get rich easy method. However, if you're going to go the method of making the trading compendium and, putting your best merchants there, that still doesn't return enough caps to be worth your time and investment, especially in special stat points. And so I'm having a hard time seeing the real reason behind making a settlement other than, hey, it's a fun thing to do. You can customize your area. You can build certain things. There's a building mode, so you've kind of got that Minecraft kind of feel, which is what Todd Howard and the Bethesda team actually talked about, one of the inspirations for their workshop mode. That's fine and dandy. That's cool that we have that. But I think there should be some kind of ulterior motive for players that maybe don't want to customize or build as much with their settlements. They actually want a practical purpose behind it, not just something else to do, but a reason to do something else. You know what I mean? So that's really what I'd like to see. Improved settlements give a real purpose. Give me a reason to build a settlement and invest into it instead of just, what you're doing with that settlement. To round out my top 5 ways that they can improve the game, I really want to have more meaningful decisions. I really want to make decisions that impact the world, not just the way that the world reacts to me through conversation. There's some kind of, quirky things that companions will say after you do something. That's fine. We've seen that in games for a long time, and it's kind of a cool system to see there, but the world really doesn't change. I want to make more meaningful decisions, and I think New Vegas made great strides in that. Obsidian, of course, made New Vegas instead of Bethesda. They had some meaningful decisions towards the end, and man, they were crazy decisions. You really had to make a choice, and things seemed more tense in the main story. This main story didn't seem as tense for me. I don't know. Something about it, maybe I didn't connect to the story as much, finding another family member. I felt like it was an extension of Fallout 3. You found your dad in Fallout 3, now you have to find your son in Fallout 4. That's the story decision they went with, and I'm not going to complain about that. That's like complaining about something that they can't fix. That's not really worth our time. However, I think they can, make some kind of story decisions and through game design with future DLC to have us make more meaningful decisions that impact the world around us. So let's say one of the DLCs in the future takes place on an island, and that island has some incredible resource that all of the factions in the Commonwealth really, really want. They all want it, and you can choose which faction actually gets that resource, and the other factions are crippled by the fact that you didn't choose them. That's a really meaningful decision, and that's something, again, we kind of saw in New Vegas. I want to be faced with some truly tough decisions, not just be guided through certain decisions that, the game decides, hey, these are the ones that you have, but they're not that different. I'd really like to make some tough decisions in future DLC. So those were my top 5 improvements. I'd like to know after watching this video, what are your top 5 ways that Bethesda can improve this game? Again, I love Fallout 4, but I think there's a lot they can change to really make it a better game for all of us. Share of all of that in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared my top 5 ways that Bethesda can improve Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more unique weapon guides, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace!